Me BF he tried cheating on me in our own apartment. We have a baby, should I leave? Messy situation, I need urgent advice. To start off, I currently live with my boyfriend, and he's the father to our 6-month-old baby. I began to grow suspicious of his behavior for a few weeks. He's been treating me like a roommate. The relationship is lacking affection. I made the bold move to look through the phone yesterday while he slept, and I found out he is talking to 2 chicks. One girl is an old ex that he has been snapping all through my pregnancy. He's been sending her their old nudes and even personal pics of me the day I gave birth. The second chick he was planning to go out and fuck this weekend on guys only night. Even invite the chick to our apartment to fuck, which didn't happen. I feel highly betrayed. This man pretends to be a saint, so I'm now in total shock. I have not yet confronted him, trying to find the best way to do it. I need advice. For some background history, I did cheat on him 1 month before we conceived our baby. It happened on vacation with an old friend with benefits. No intercourse or kissing, but he inserted his finger in my lady parts and I returned the favor with my finger in his butt. Then after returning, I went on a cruise with my baby's father and found out I was pregnant. I felt guilty, so I loosely confessed what happened on my vacation, only mentioning the finger in his butt part. To add on, just 2 months ago a now ex-friend accused me of cheating in front of my boyfriend. It was a total lie and thankfully he didn't believe her. Then a month we went out the country on vacation with my family and we got terribly drunk. He exchanged some mean words to one another and I ended up attacking him. Unfortunately I scratched him up pretty bad before my family could pull me off. We did make up the next day. I've been nothing but loyal since I got pregnant with his baby, which he desperately wanted me to have. I take care of the baby and work from home. I don't have time to even clean up my home. I also pay some of the bills, and yet he puts his friends above me. All his so-called friends have now abandoned him. The baby and I is all he has left. He has no parents but only multiple siblings. I feel so betrayed. I need any advice I can get. My parents are willing to welcome me back with open arms. I already informed my family of everything he did and installed a hidden camera in my living room. Should I leave him? Who's in the wrong? Is this fixable? Comment. Talk to him about it and try to do what's best and update. You still love him, think he's worth saving. Ask him if he feels neglected, if all he wants is sex. If you still love him and that's the problem, can you try again? And if you can't leave, I want to know how it ended. Next story 2. My partner ghosts me. This has been happening for years and I've told them how much it hurts me. What would you do in this situation? What would be your response in this situation? Me, my partner. So me and my partner have been together for 5 years. It's been rocky, but for the most part this comes down to miscommunication through text, so we opted to do more calls instead. Their parents are super transphobic and I, myself, am a trans man. I have been the entire time we've been dating. Technically we're affianced, but nothing has really come out of this. Here's the skinny. Originally I was with another person. My current partner hated them for no reason other than the fact that they were jealous because they liked me and couldn't stand that I was with someone else. They told me this themselves. They originally wanted to be in a relationship with me and I turned them down because at the time I didn't feel the same way and was obviously in another relationship. Fast forward a bit and we are together now. Things are rocky cause, as I mentioned, their parents absolutely cannot stand me for nothing other than me being trans. They'll never admit it anyway. They make up excuses, but their blatant hatred for trans people and horrendous beliefs from Facebook about them tell us enough about their reasons for disliking me. It's very toxic. I hate being around it. I already had an aunt and cousin tell me I'm going to hell for being trans. I don't need more, that's unavoidable. My partner themselves are seemingly great. I love them very much and have grown to care about them tremendously as we've known each other for 13 years now. The problem is they don't talk to me. They also can't come to see me very often because their parents won't allow them, despite them being a 25-year-old adult. We both are, I'm sure as hell not going to them since they live with their parents and I've told them that. Their parents don't like me being in the house anyway, like I'm some kinda rabid animal. There'll be days where I don't hear from them, but see that they're active on Discord and playing games with their online friends. They'll say sorry I forgot, sorry, I've been having a rough mental health day. This obviously would not be an issue for me if it wasn't constantly happening. For instance, the biggest most recent example is they had some issues and ended up going to a big city 2 hours away to some relatives and ended up in the hospital. I was not made aware of this until last night, but guess who knew about it? Everyone else. Especially their online friends. This has always been the case with my partner. I constantly seem like I'm fifth fiddle. Forget second fiddle. I'm not a materialistic person, but I always make sure I have presents for them in advance for any special occasion despite having money issues, and if I can't buy something I make them something. But they don't do that for me, even though I told them they could just make me something and I'd love it just as much as something they'd buy for me. But guess who they always do stuff for? That's right, the people they live and breathe to talk to and not their supposed life partner. I'm always there for them when they need me, and yes, when I can get them to call and talk to me, they listen, but really that's all I get. Ever. Everyone in my life is telling me I should break up with them, and I've been defending them over and over on this, but my excuses for them are running out because I can see when they read my texts and I can see when they're active somewhere else playing with their friends. I'm not asking for constant attention, but some as their partner would be nice. If we live in the same city, barely 10 minutes away from each other, and we don't talk, what the hell makes them think not talking to me on the phone or other apps would be the ideal relationship? I feel like a damn toy, something they pull out when their friends aren't online or they're fighting with them and they need to vent and to discard and ignore when they're done. But somehow I'm always the bad guy. I'm emotionally manipulative even though I've told them how I feel about them ghosting me like this, and they just make excuses. They have mental health issues, well so do I. This doesn't seem fair. Comment. It honestly doesn't sound like there's much there to lose. Being in a relationship involved relating to one another. It doesn't sound like they're much of a partner or a friend to you at all. If you break things off romantically, you might be able to recalibrate your expectations and accept the level of friendship they're able to offer. If you keep pretending this is what having a partner is supposed to feel like, your resentment will only continue to build until you genuinely hate them and want nothing to do with them. Salvage whatever level of friendship you can if you want to keep them in your life, but please stop lying to yourself that you're in a relationship with someone who won't even talk to you. So don't. Instead of working on getting their attention, work on caring less about where their attention is. It's never going to be on you the way you want, need, or deserve. So please stop begging for scraps when you could go find someone else who can't take their eyes off you. I would break up and move on. They do not have the ability to navigate you and their family/friends. Not worth the trouble that will continue to happen. Next story 3. My friend wants to get closer, but I already have trouble just being friends because of how she handles her life situations. I will call her K. I do not do well comforting people and I struggle to show empathy, even though I feel it sometimes, so when someone tells me they're hurting or something isn't right, I get extremely uncomfortable. K does this a lot. She's going through a lot and I genuinely hurt for her, but I can't handle the constant negativity. It's really frustrating because the majority of what K talks about is negative and she does it while everyone else is in a good mood. For example, we could be out having fun bowling or something and she would randomly bring up how terribly her manager treats her. Or, over food, she one time brought up how people bully her and such. It makes me so uncomfortable because I really don't know how to respond other than "that's so terrible, I'm sorry," and to make it worse she goes on and keeps talking about it. Another issue I have is she is very insistent on things. The biggest thing recently is she informed me that one of our friends, M24, developed feelings for me, and I told her I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with the age gap, but she's still trying to set me up with him. I'm 99% sure she encouraged him to start texting me, and he actually asked me out, but I declined as I was leaving for a trip the next day, but I strongly believe she encouraged him to do that too. She asks me in front of him what my interests are and when I'm free. That's something I will have to bring up to her, I just need to find the words. She really does have a rough life and I feel really bad for her, but the constant negativity isn't something I can handle. I find it also brings down my mood as well. She's very nice, but I don't think it's something I could bring up to her. I want to be there for her and I want her to know that I love her, but I don't know for my sake that I'd like to get closer with her, let alone if it's even healthy for me. I've met people like this in the past and it's just so hard for me to be friends with them. How do I handle her wanting to get closer when it's already hard for me to just simply be friends? I want to be there for her, but I don't know what to do. Comment. I think you need to continue to hold her at arm's length. You already know that being even closer would be unhealthy for you. It would cause you to resent her and it wouldn't be doing her any favors. Most likely, she would use you as her armchair therapist, or try to, since you're not good at it. No shade, this is a limitation you've listed and it's perfectly okay. She already doesn't respect your boundaries, so it'd be a real bad idea anyways. If you're not going to address it directly, keep giving short responses that don't ask for more info. Recommend she speak to a therapist to help her work through those things, and change the subject.